is in keeping with the provision of Article 32 of the ECOWAS Supplementary Act on the enhancement of the power of the ECOWAS Parliament, which states that the President of the Commission shall submit a general report on the implementation of the Community Work Programme at each ordinary session of Parliament. Honorable Member of Parliament, during the year 2019, progress was made in consolidating regional integration, while a number of reforms were carried out and significant achievements recorded. However, we all know that there are still many challenges confronting us, particularly with regard to security. A growing but still inadequate economic performance, difficulties in the application of the trade liberalization scheme, and important social challenges. In the area of security, the year has been marked by continued terrorist attacks on some member states, particularly in the Sahel region and the Lake Chad Basin. This has led to increased pressure on other member states and the rise in inter-community conflict, notably farmer-farmer conflict. On the political front, with the support of ECOWAS member states and other partners, presidential and parliamentary elections were successfully conducted in Benin, Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria, and Senegal. Programs and projects implemented by the community are part of the ECOWAS Vision 2020, approved by ECOWAS bodies. This vision is being reformulated to project our region in the next 25 years. The work of the community program is extensive and is presented in the outline that is being circulated. I will try to be as brief as possible, as you have the document, so that we leave more time for questions and issues that you might want to raise. When we look at the economic performance in our region, what we see is that growth is moving positively from 3% in 2018 and 3.3% this year, 2019. 2020, the projection shows that we should be again slightly above our performance of 2019. What is interesting is that we see many countries still performing very, very strongly in our region. As in 2018, we see that we have 7 countries that are performing above the 6% growth rate. And this is encouraging. And we are also seeing several countries in the 3-6% range. So what we are hoping is that countries that are below will make a stronger effort so that they will be at least in the middle range, 3-6%. On the political affair, as indicated in 2019, this year, we had a successful presidential election in Nigeria, started with Nigeria, Senegal, and very recently in Guinea-Bissau. We also had parliamentary election in Togo at the end of last year, Guinea-Bissau, and Benin. The election in Guinea-Bissau is not completed, as we have a second round that will take place in December 2019. During the year, we have also continued our work in terms of facilitation in political issues. Guinea-Bissau, we're very involved in the last 2 years. Togo again, as I said, for the parliamentary election. Benin and Liberia in the period of April-May 2019. 2020 is going to be a very challenging year for us, for all of us, Parliament and the Commission. Indeed, we have 6 presidential elections, starting in a few months, I shall say, with Togo in February, March 2020, and completing with Niger, December 2020, when we'll also have Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Ghana. We will continue to provide support to those member countries in their electoral processes before, during, and after election to ensure smooth activities in this area. Regional security today, unfortunately, is the #1 priority for ECOWAS, because, as you all know, it is really a major challenge for us. We are seeing heightened security challenges, terrorist attack, inter-community clashes. Between January and October, we had witnessed 16% increase in terrorist attack and an increase also in the number of victims. Those increased tension in terrorist activities are affecting not only the Sahel country, that means essentially Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and the northeastern part of Nigeria, with the activity of Boko Haram around the Lake Chad basin. But is now, because of this increase, putting strong pressure on the coastal countries. And it is faced with this growing trend and serious situation that the head of state decided to convene an extraordinary summit last September in Burkina Faso to deal with that. And as you know, during this summit, they made some very important decisions. They asked Commission to finalize a priority action plan, a 5-year plan, 2020-2024, and also decided to make a very strong, decided to make a contribution internally of $1 billion to support the overall fight against terrorism. So the action plan has been practically finalized and will be submitted to the next council next week, and also after that to the summit of the head of state scheduled on December 21st, 2019. We are continuing with our peacekeeping operation, particularly in Guinea-Bissau and in the Gambia. And the head of state have renewed their mandate for another 6 months. The major challenge we are facing in those operations of peacekeeping is the slow implementation of security sector reform. As you know, our peacekeeping force have no vocation to stay forever in those countries. They were in those countries to help bring stability, restore the political processes, and ensure economic and social progress. So at one point in time, they have to be pulled back. But we would like to do it as a community after we have implemented, as it was planned, the security sector reform. Unfortunately, those programs are moving very slowly, and we hope that in 2020, we will again continue to engage more forcefully with those countries so that the security sector reform is put in place. On the trade integration, as you know from the table, unfortunately, intra-trade in ECOWAS is declining as percentage of overall trade. This is not good news. What we wanted to have is an increase in intra-trade. It is, as I would like to recall, that this community was created in 1975 with the first priority to reinforce and foster intra-trade. So those results are, for all of us, a concern, and we need to collectively address those issues to make sure that trade, as far as the free movement of persons, is really a reality and continue to increase. We can discuss it further. We have indicated some of the difficulties in implementing the ETLS program, that means the trade liberalization scheme. It's got to do with trade barrier and tariff barrier and non-tariff barrier. Also the impact of the recent closure of the border between Nigeria and Benin and between Nigeria and Niger since August 20 is also one element that has an impact on those intra-trade. So we are pleased to note that there has been some discussion to try to identify the issue and find some solution for the benefit of not only those countries, but the benefits of the whole region. We have taken also steps to simplify the whole process and procedure for having the good originating in our countries, in ECOWAS member states, to benefit from the trade liberalization scheme. And those have to do with the simplification of the calculation method of the value added, the simplification and securing of the proof of origin, and extending the validity of the certificate of origin. The biometric situation, the current situation in terms of free movement of person and right of establishment is also a challenge for all of us. We have the biometric identity card that has been proposed by ECOWAS, which is in place in 5 countries: Benin, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, and Senegal. We of course are working for the countries to see that those biometric cards can be generalized in the whole region, because at the end of the day, they will facilitate the free movement of persons. We are also working in the context of the new African Continental Free Trade, which was launched in July 7 in Niamey, in the Republic of Niger. Pleased to report that all the 15 member states of our region have signed the agreement. Ratification has been done by 10 member states. And also, as you all heard, one of our member states, the Republic of Ghana, has been selected to host the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade. Currently, the key issue and key challenges are the negotiation ongoing for the tariff concession on goods, and we have to deposit them as ECOWAS in at the end of December 2019, and we also ongoing work being done on the concession for services that we need to be deposited in January 2020. The liberalization scheme of this African Free Trade Zone is supposed to start effectively, July 2020. As far as the EPA are concerned, that means Economic Partnership Agreement, is still a challenge for the ECOWAS region. Several countries have signed, 14 countries have signed the EPA, but it cannot be enforced and implemented because to be implemented, it has to be signed by all the member countries. So because of the delay, we have 2 countries that have signed interim agreement with the European Union. So Côte d'Ivoire interim EPA will have started this year, January 1st, 2019, with a liberalization of some of the goods. And Ghana will start the implementation of its interim EPA in January 2020. Of course, it creates challenge, as I said, because it tends to bring different type of trade regime in our area. The single currency program, as you know, is a major program for the ECOWAS community, and I would like to commend the Parliament for having, at the beginning of this year, organized a meeting in Dakar to sensitize on this specific issue. We've made several progress in this specific objective. Key decisions were taken this year. I mentioned the exchange rate regime, the monetary policy framework, the name of the currency, the model of the central bank. Now I would like to switch in French